Hello and thank you for tuning into News Today, where we break down the day's top stories with precision and clarity. Without delay, take a look at the headlines first. India reaffirms commitment to its neighborhood-first policy and SAGAR vision. Cooperative societies do not fall under ambit of RTI Act, rules Madras High Court. CCI to closely monitor implementation of settlement and commitment in antitrust cases. IUCN in chief urged countries to strive for high seas biodiversity treaty. Scientists developed a new exosome-based CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing platform. A study underscores the need of media literacy to fight misinformation. In our very first news, India has once again underscored its commitment to strengthen ties with its neighbouring countries through its neighbourhood-first policy and SAGAR vision. The swearing-in ceremony of the new Indian Prime Minister was attended by leaders from Sri Lanka, Maldives, Seychelles, Bangladesh, Mauritius, Nepal and Bhutan. This showcased India's focus on enhancing cooperation and connectivity with nations in its immediate neighbourhood. India's NFP guides its approach towards the management of relations with countries in its immediate neighbourhood, like Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, Myanmar, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. The aim of neighbourhood-first policy is to enhance physical, digital and people-to-people connectivity across the region, as well as augmenting trade and commerce. The complementary initiative to our neighbourhood policy is the Security and Growth for All in the Region, or SAGAR initiative. The concept of SAGAR doctrine was first articulated in 2015. It seeks a free, open, inclusive, peaceful and prosperous Indo-Pacific region built on a rules-based international order. Under SAGAR, India contributes to regional connectivity, capacity building, disaster management and more. Now, let's understand the key significance of NFP and SAGAR. These policies help counter Chinese influence in the Indian Ocean region through collaboration with neighbours. They support India's leadership role in representing global South interests on the world stage. The policies also enhance maritime security by tackling transnational challenges more effectively. Other benefits include promoting other key Indian initiatives like the Act East policy. Some major steps taken to promote neighbourhood-first policy and SAGAR doctrine include the launch of the South Asia satellite to boost regional communication and disaster management links. The mission SAGAR provided COVID assistance to Indian Ocean littoral states. Under Vaccine Maitri, neighbours like Bhutan and Maldives were prioritized for vaccine exports. Crucial infrastructure projects like the Kaladan Multimodal Transit Transport Project connecting India with Myanmar and beyond are also underway. With its renewed commitment to the neighbourhood-first policy and SAGAR vision, India aims to strengthen its strategic influence and develop mutually beneficial partnerships across the region. In our next news, in a significant judgment, the Madras High Court has ruled that cooperative societies registered under the Tamil Nadu Cooperative Societies Act of 1983 are not considered public authorities under Section 2, Clause H of the Right to Information Act 2005. Let's begin with delving into the details of RTI Act 2005. The RTI Act sets out a practical regime for citizens to access information under the control of public authorities in order to promote transparency and accountability in governance. The right to information is implicit in the fundamental right to freedom of speech and expression guaranteed by Article 19 of the Indian Constitution, and as established by the Supreme Court in the 1975 State of UP versus Raj Narayan case. Key provisions of the Act includes time limit for providing information, suo motu disclosure of certain categories of information, appointment of public information officers, central and state information commissions, etc. It's important to note that Section 8 of the Act exempts certain categories of information from disclosure. Here are the exemptions made under Section 8 of the RTI Act. It includes information disclosure of which would prejudicially affect sovereignty and integrity of India, the security, strategic, scientific or economic interest of the state, etc. Also, the information forbidden by courts or constituting contempt of court, and information breaching Parliament's or state legislatures' privilege. Additionally, commercial confidences, trade secrets, intellectual property, unless larger public interest warrants disclosure. And lastly, it includes personal information unrelated to public interest or invading privacy. Now, let's take a look at the provisions for public authorities under RTI Act 2005. The term public authorities covers government bodies, state-controlled entities, and NGOs substantially financed directly or indirectly by the central or the state governments. The Supreme Court had ruled in 2019 that even the Office of Chief Justice of India qualifies as a public authority under the RTI Act. The duties of public authorities include to maintain all its records duly catalogued and indexed, to proactively disclose information regularly, to designate PIOs who are responsible to give information to a person who seeks information under the RTI Act. To conclude, this decision underscores the need for clear definitions within the RTI Act to ensure comprehensive governance accountability and highlights the ongoing challenges in balancing transparency with privacy and security concerns.
Moving on to the next news. In a significant move to ensure compliance and transparency in antitrust cases, the Competition Commission of India or CCI has proposed new draft regulations for close monitoring of settlements and commitments offered by companies, including major tech entities. Let's take a closer look at the key highlights and potential significance of these draft regulations. The draft regulations empower the CCI to appoint independent monitoring agencies. These agencies could include accounting firms and individuals like chartered accountants tasked with overseeing the implementation of CCI's orders. Importantly, the CCI retains the authority to suspend or terminate the involvement of these agencies if they fail to meet certain standards. Notably, any such revocation cannot be challenged in any court of law, ensuring the CCI's decision remains final. To maintain the integrity of their oversight, these monitoring agencies must confirm their independence by disclosing any potential conflicts of interest. Their responsibilities include informing the CCI of any instances where orders are not being implemented and submitting periodic reports as directed by the CCI. The potential significance of this draft proposal is profound. By preventing big tech firms from circumventing regulatory orders, the draft regulations aim to ensure that these companies adhere to their commitments in both letter and spirit. This move is expected to enhance transparency and accountability within the tech sector. Additionally, the proposal guarantees that every party involved has a fair and equal chance to participate in the process and have their interests adequately represented and considered. This inclusive approach aims to create a more balanced and equitable regulatory environment. In conclusion, by empowering independent monitoring agencies and ensuring transparency, the CCI aims to uphold the integrity of its orders and foster a fairer competitive landscape.
Moving on to our next news. On June 8, World Oceans Day, the Director General of the International Union for Conservation of Nature urged countries around the world to strive for a fully functional high seas biodiversity treaty. The action theme for this year's World Oceans Day was catalyzing action for our ocean and climate. To begin with, let's look at what exactly are high seas. The high seas are defined by international law as all parts of the ocean that are not included in the exclusive economic zone, territorial sea, or internal waters of any country, or the archipelagic waters of an archipelagic state. The high seas and their associated resources are not directly owned or regulated by any single nation. Now, let's delve into the details of High Seas Biodiversity Treaty. It is an agreement under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea on the conservation and sustainable use of marine biological diversity in areas beyond national jurisdiction. It was formally adopted by the Intergovernmental Conference on this issue in 2023, but will only become an international law once it is signed and ratified by at least 60 countries. So far, only 7 nations have ratified the treaty, while India has neither signed nor ratified it yet. Furthermore, here are the key provisions of the treaty. It contains provisions based on polluter pays principle as well as mechanisms for resolution of disputes related to pollutions in high seas. It also underlines importance of capacity building and transfer of marine technology and increasing collaboration among regional seas organizations and regional fisheries management organizations. Additionally, it recognizes rights and traditional knowledge of indigenous peoples and local communities, freedom of scientific research, and need for fair and equitable sharing of benefits. In conclusion, the IUCN Chief's call highlights the urgency of achieving a robust global agreement to protect biodiversity in the largest untamed wilderness left on our planet, the high seas.
Ahead in the news, in a groundbreaking development, scientists at Columbia University have unveiled a new exosome-based CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing platform named SafeExoCas. This innovative platform holds immense potential for advancing precision medicine and improving cancer treatment. Let's delve into the details of this exciting new technology. First, let's understand what exosomes are. Exosomes are naturally occurring vesicles that can be manipulated to become promising drug delivery vehicles for on-demand in vitro and in vivo gene editing. The SafeExoCas platform significantly enhances the delivery of CRISPR-Cas9 genome editing components to specific cells, making gene editing more precise and efficient. This development is poised to facilitate the advancement of precision medicine, also known as personalized medicine. Precision medicine involves disease prevention and treatment that takes into account individual differences in people's genes, environments, and lifestyles. Now let's take a closer look at CRISPR-Cas9 technology. Clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats associated protein 9 or CRISPR-Cas9 is a type of genome editing technology. This technology is utilized to change genetic code or edit DNA at particular locations. Essentially, CRISPR-Cas9 works as a cut and paste mechanism on DNA strands. Genetic codes that need to be changed are identified and the Cas9 protein acts as a pair of molecular scissors to cut off a part of the strand, allowing modifications to the genome. The applications of CRISPR are vast. It can be used to edit genes in human embryos, change the genetic code of crops to improve their resilience, and treat diseases such as sickle cell disease. In conclusion, by leveraging exosomes for the precise delivery of CRISPR-Cas9 components, this technology promises to advance precision medicine and improve cancer treatment among other applications. Ahead in the news, a recent study has underscored the need for media literacy to combat this growing issue of misinformation with the rise in internet usage. Let's delve into what misinformation is and why it's so important to address it. According to the United Nations Human Rights Council, misinformation refers to false or inaccurate information such as rumors. It has been identified as one of the top 5 risks impacting worldwide peace and prosperity alongside disinformation as highlighted in the Global Risk Report 2024. Unlike misinformation, disinformation is deliberate and includes malicious content such as hoaxes, spear phishing, and propaganda. The impacts of misinformation are far-reaching. For instance, it can significantly influence voting behavior. During the 2019 general elections in India, around 50,000 fake news posts were published and shared over 2 million times. This prevalence of misinformation affects people's ability to make critical decisions and erodes confidence and trust in the political system and civic engagement. Additionally, health-related misinformation leads to the erroneous interpretation of scientific knowledge, opinion polarization, and escalating fear and panic. Other impacts include the manipulation of general beliefs and spending behavior. So how can we tackle this pervasive issue? Media literacy emerges as a potent solution. It comprises a composite set of knowledge, skills, attitudes, competencies, and practices that empower individuals to critically evaluate the accuracy of news and reduce their susceptibility to manipulation. Importantly, media literacy helps address misinformation without undermining the freedom of the internet and media. Several initiatives have been taken to fight misinformation. In India, the Information Technology, Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code Rules 2021 require social media platforms to take reasonable efforts to prevent the dissemination of false, fake, or misleading information. Additionally, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has issued directives to social media intermediaries to crack down on deepfakes. On a global scale, UNESCO has created a media information literacy curriculum, and the European Commission has issued the Code of Practice on Disinformation in 2022. In conclusion, by equipping individuals with the tools to critically evaluate information, we can mitigate the negative impacts of misinformation and uphold the integrity of both the internet and the media. The place in news for today is Panama with its capital, Panama City. It is in news as Panama has become the first nation to evacuate island community from the island of Gardi Sugdub over climate change impact. If we talk about its political features, then it is a country of Central America located on the Isthmus of Panama. The Isthmus of Panama is a narrow bridge of land that connects North and South America. It shares its territorial boundaries with Costa Rica to its west and Colombia to its east. Moreover, it shares its maritime boundaries with Caribbean Sea to its north and Pacific Ocean to its south. Talking about its geographical features, its major rivers include Rio Chagres, Rio Chepo, and more. Its major mountain range is the Cordillera Central or Central Mountain Range. And lastly, its highest peak is the Baru volcano.
As we conclude today's main news, let's take a look at some quick updates. East Asia Summit Senior Officials Meeting was held in Vientiane, Lao, PDR. East Asia Summit was established in 2005 at Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. It is a leaders-led forum for dialogue and cooperation on broad strategic, political and economic issues of common interest and concern with aim of promoting peace, stability and economic prosperity in East Asia. RBI in its recent monetary policy review decided to retain the repo rate for 8th time in a row due to concerns of sticky inflation. Sticky inflation refers to a phenomenon where prices do not adjust quickly to changes in supply and demand, leading to persistent inflation. Adoption of facial authentication technology-based digital life certificate in 2022-23 by the Employees Provident Fund organization has eased the life pensioners. FAT is based on face recognition technology. Enterprises globally are adopting large action models to cut their labor cost. It is an artificial intelligence model that can understand and execute complex tasks by translating human intentions into action. An agreement has been signed for the implementation of a comprehensive fisheries management plan at Subansiri Lower Hydroelectric Project. It is an under-construction gravity dam on the Subansiri River. Gravity dam is a concrete dam so proportioned that it will resist overturning and sliding forces by its own weight. With the latest advancement, the northern limit of monsoon now passes through several regions in Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, etc. The northern limit of monsoon is a southwest monsoon that normally sets in over Kerala around June 1st and advances northwards, usually in surges, and covers the entire country around July 15th. Oil and Natural Gas Corporation is seeking foreign partners for its flagship Mumbai High oil field due to declining outputs. Mumbai High Field is located in Arabian Sea at about 165 km west-northwest of Mumbai city in the western offshore. Union Health Ministry along with Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India will launch National Health Claim Exchange to allow patients to access quality health care with reduced out-of-pocket expenditure. It will serve as a protocol for exchanging claims-related information. Before we sign off, let's challenge your understanding in today's installment of Test Your Knowledge. We appreciate your company. We hope you found this episode of News Today engaging. For the solutions to today's quiz and to access the PDF version of News Today, remember to visit the provided links in the description below.